All right, welcome back to another edition of the Boston Celtics Roundtable on the Celtics newsfeed. I'm Matt Ignal, joined by Lucky's Pipe, Zaire, and Evan Valenti, here to preview Game 4 of the Celtics versus Cavs game that is coming tonight at 8:30. We're going to be talking about some things that the Celtics could do to steal another game in Cleveland. Maybe, I don't know if that's how likely that is, but I know Zaire is optimistic. Zaire, I mean, you just believe in this team. Do you think that they could actually replicate this performance in Game 4?
When I was a kid, I saw the Duke Blue Devils lose to UNLV one year by 30 points in the national final, and the next year they won by 2. You know what I'm saying? So this is similar, man. Like, this Celtics team is that little slow turtle, trying to wiggle their way down the course, while that Cavs team is just going to sprint, but they're going to take a water break. You know what I'm saying? So I think, though, LeBron is definitely going to be more offensive oriented as far as finding his points. I cannot see him settling for less than 25 next game, which is a good thing. I've been preaching throughout the whole series. Please let LeBron want to be a scorer rather than a facilitator. The fact that he only had 6 assists, even though Love and Kyrie got theirs, I think was a key thing to where LeBron is not dominating the basketball game as a scorer and a passer. And I think that was a key thing for Game 3.
Let's expound on that point. Evan, when you look at what happened in Game 3, was there something in the Celtics scheme that really stopped LeBron James, or did LeBron James stop LeBron James? Because no one's been able to stop LeBron James in the playoffs, really.
Sometimes he settles for stuff, and I think it's just kind of weird sometimes to watch him settle for jump shots, and he'll do that when Cleveland has the game in hand sometimes, and he'll just be like, yeah, I'm just going to fool around and take some jumpers. And he had one jumper in the middle of Game 3 in the second half. Like, he had that super deep three. It was towards the end of the game where he just chucked a three from like 5 feet beyond the three-point line just because he's LeBron James, and it was a really bad shot. Even for a guy like LeBron, it was a bad shot. Like, I just think, really, I think Jay Crowder did a good job, like, kind of holding up against him, because you have to dig deep against LeBron he's just such a load. His lower body is so strong, and he's able to just overpower so many guys. And for Jay Crowder to kind of stand up, that's pretty impressive. Like, I wouldn't count on LeBron only shooting the ball 13 times. The next game, I think part of him, I think he was a little passive. I didn't think he was nearly as aggressive as he should be. I don't think he was great. He didn't have great rhythm during Game 3. I mean, Boston made it hard on him. They doubled him a lot. They put different guys on him at all points during the game to keep him at least guessing a little bit on the offensive side of the ball. But I mean, LeBron is so good, he kind of just makes up for everything himself. I just wouldn't expect that kind of effort again. And
yeah, I don't think LeBron James is going to have another worst game ever in Game 4.
Yeah, you got to remember that was the worst game of his entire life, basically.
Yeah, the TNT crew was trying to make it was just LeBron wasn't taking it serious or didn't have the switch on. I think that might have been part of it, but I did like the Celtics, Jay Crowder individually, but as a team, they were doubling at better times, and they were like a soft double, and they were just kind of in the passing lanes more, and that's where you're getting those 6 turnovers. So that was well done, but he's not going to score 11 points again.
Let's move on. I think we're all expecting a better performance from LeBron James.
Yeah, this isn't really breaking news. LeBron's going to to be better. Okay, move. I mean,
yeah.
Seriously, he's just the best player in the world. So I mean, I would assume that he's probably going to have a better game.
My column.
And that's it. That's it. It's just a title, and it says
he's going to score more points, guys.
He's going to score more points.
All right. So on the flip side, Marcus Smart isn't going to hit 7 threes again in Game 4. So
maybe not the rest of the series.
that's a good point. We know the Celtics offense looks completely different when Isaiah Thomas is out. It's much less pick and roll. It's playing a lot more through the bigs. It's more like that standard motion offense, dribble handoffs. Avery Bradley coming off screens, Jay Crowder coming off screens. Are the Celtics going to be able to how are they going to be able to manufacture more offense against the Cavs when we expect them to lock down a bit more?
Well, Boston has gotten good looks the entire series. I mean, in spurts, they've gotten good looks on offense. Cavaliers defensively, are not a juggernaut team. They're just not. Boston, because their half-court offense is so nice and crisp, they're able to get open looks, and it's just a matter of burying a couple of them. And on the flip side, Cleveland in Game 3, as Brad alluded to in his press conference after the game, hit a bunch, and especially Kevin Love, hit a bunch of ridiculous shots. So they were, offensively, they were really clicking in the first half, not so much the second half. Boston, did the same thing in reverse order. It won't be Marcus Smart, obviously. I mean, him going, 50%, never mind 70% again would be a shocking thing. But other guys like Crowder, Bradley, Horford, Kelly, guys that shot well from 3-point range during the regular season, if they were to transfer that over to this game 4, that would be a good shot for them. I mean, they have to bury threes to really keep pace here.
All right, it's playoff season, and having the right players on the court will be the key to success. That sharp outside shooter or power rebounder can be the difference between winning and losing. Or LeBron James. Business isn't any different. Your company needs the right people to be the best. So where do you go to find top talent? Well, at ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 100-plus job sites with just one click. Then their powerful technology efficiently matches the right people to your position. And right now, listeners to the Boston Celtics newsfeed can start forming their own winning team on ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/sportsfan. That's ZipRecruiter.com/sportsfan. Try it for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/sportsfan. All right, I'm expecting the same starting lineup. Smart to start. That worked out well. Run it back. Amir Johnson, same thing. I think Brad Stevens kind of likes going big to sort of set the tone defensively. I'm expecting to see a lot more Jerebko. Hey, it worked. He brought the requisite toughness that was needed in Game 3, just being a full-on goon, as we mentioned in the last pod, plus 22 in 13 minutes, 10 points, second biggest shot of the game. Did a nice job on LeBron James.
Yeah, give him all the Zeller minutes.
Sure.
Those 7 minutes that Zeller put up zeros across the board. Give him to Jerebko.
Hey, Zeller had 3 assists, man.
Oh, did he?
Absolutely. Said a couple picks, too.
My bad, T-Zell.
He was no Jerebko, though. And yeah, you can throw away Gerald Green's minutes, as far as I'm concerned. Although he did hit a 3. It just seemed like everything went the Celtics' way in this second half. It still just feels like a long shot that they can go into Cleveland and win 2 games. Now, and then again, anything could happen in one game. So are there any other keys that you guys feel that the Celtics really need to do in order to at least put themselves in a position to have a little bit of luck at the end of the game?
Energy out of the gate. They played with great energy to start the game. I know they were down 35-24 after the first quarter, and the halftime wasn't much better. But I liked the energy they played with. They've had spurts of good energy. They just have to make sure they maintain that all the way through. They really picked it up in the fourth, obviously, in the third quarter. Towards the end, they were great. But I mean, getting off to a good start against this team would be a huge step in the right direction.
Take care of the basketball. That was a big thing that happened that we forget about. They only had 9 turnovers, and Cleveland had 16. Now, Cleveland had more points off of turnovers, but Boston took care of the basketball, valued their possessions more. Now, imagine if they do that and make open shots, because Cleveland is giving them a lot of open shots. And the one thing that everybody's saying, if Cleveland plays at this high level, they're going to kill Golden State. They ain't going to kill Golden State. They're giving them all the open shots they're giving Boston, So the problem is that Boston's just not hitting the open shots. They're missing a lot of layups, missing a lot of open jumpers. If they can limit the turnovers, hit open shots, you're right there. And so I just always felt like, once again, if we could have – when I saw that 16-point deficit at halftime, I said, okay, that's good. That's good, because we've made runs in every single game. Even the blowout game, they made a little run. So we're down 16. We can mess with them a little bit. And that's the key, man, is just like staying close and finishing strong. And if they can do that, they're good. So once again, open shots, no turnovers, you're good.
Yeah, wide-ass open shots all day.
Obviously, they got a key in on Love, who's just killing them to start these games. And although he cooled off a little bit, why is he – what's making him get so many good looks? Because he's the one guy, I guess, as a spot-up shooter right now, who's just terrifying. Should Horford just, deny ball all the time?
That's catch-22, because they need Horford. Horford pulls in to defend any of the guys driving. As soon as he pulls in, they're just kicking it to Love, and he's he's got 8 feet of space, and he's just hitting it. And even when they can contest it, Love was hitting the shots with a hand in his face. At least in the first half, he was just money regardless. So Love's, he's the biggest matchup issue that they have right now. Well, other than LeBron when he's being LeBron.
Yeah, it's tough to kind of navigate Kevin Love sometimes with some of the stuff they do off the ball with him. And if they're going to pull Horford out, that clears more space for LeBron. So that's usually what they want to do. I mean, it's hard because LeBron is their point guard, and you have to have eyes on him at all times, and you have to just kind of be mindful of where he is on the floor at all times. And this is what's so impossible about defending the Cavaliers, because once you miss a second, it's tough. It's tough to make sure that you keep an eye on everybody, but really communicating and closing out hard and all those things are going to be crucial in Game 4.
You got to be physical. You got to knock the ball out of bounds. You got to make them turn the ball over. You got to make them see a thicket of arms everywhere. Point of attack, Avery Bradley, Marcus Smart. It's going to be on those guys to set the tone.
One thing that I thought I saw a lot is that like Kevin Love will get open off of like a lazy rotation. Let's say Avery Bradley's on him for a second, and then Kevin will kick it to Kyrie, and then Avery will go to Kyrie, and whoever is supposed to be on Kevin will be like sinking back, and then Kyrie will kick it back to Kevin, and then by the time Kevin is shooting the shot, someone is leaning and trying to defend it, but the shot's already gone. You just got to have a body on that guy. Like, he's the biggest guy out there. How are people missing him? It's just
he's so good. He's so good off the ball, though, at just like rotating over a little bit and just like finding those slivers of space, and he's got a really quick release. I mean, along with,
I don't dispute that, but along with Ryan Anderson, that's the scouting report. Like, you already know that. Like, what I'm saying? It's not a secret what he does. It's just the fact of hustling and making sure you go out there and take it personal and try to shut this dude down. I almost would rather have Kyrie Irving expending that energy and driving to the basket than Kevin Love just having a picnic basket out there just shooting threes and eating sandwiches all day.
Hey, perhaps the biggest question heading into Game 4 here. Will the Cavs walk out to the Monstars theme again?
Hope so. It was such good luck.
That'd be phenomenal. It's entertainment.
Hey, I don't recall Jordan having 11 points in a playoff game. Shots fired. Now, LeBron's great. Okay.
Yeah,
I shouldn't say that.
I think it was like the stat that kept popping up was games under. Oh crap! I should look it up. It was like games under 15, and it was like Michael Jordan 0, LeBron James 6.
Nice.
Well, I think that's unfair though. They're not the same guy.
They're different guys.
LeBron
likes to pass.
Yeah, if it was Kobe, I'd be like, okay, that's fair. But LeBron is not Michael. People want him to be Michael. People want to make that comparison, but he never, other than wearing 23, which I thought was blasphemous, other than doing that, and not because of Michael Jordan, but as a person and growing up, I loved the Cavs when I was a little kid, and Michael Jordan just torched us, and so I just felt like that was like, a Red Sox guy going, I want to wear Jeter's number. Like, no, dude, you don't do that.
Old scars. I mean, maybe the Celtics, given how lost J.R. Smith was on that final play, maybe the Celtics should just go at J.R. Smith, much like the Spurs went after Ryan Anderson in the Western Conference semifinals. Just get him involved in every play, have some sort of misdirection. It seems to work.
If you can make them not themselves, which is really hard to do, but if you can do it, and you find yourself in a good situation, man, you got to put your foot on the gas. And the Celtics put their foot on the gas, man, like down the stretch. I mean, this was as good as this was the best clutch win they've had in the Brad Stevens era, hands down. And they've had some good ones. Like this trumps everything right here.
They had Smart and Jay running at LeBron. He was like, "Excuse me, what are you doing with this?" 6 turnovers.
All right, final thoughts before we wrap up here. Anyone got any major key to Game 4?
Hit 3-pointers. That's everybody. Because like we talked about this. No, well, duh. But like this is back to Zaire's theory. They're just gonna have to be an offensive team and just outscore some guys sometimes. And I think this is gonna be one of those cases where they shot 46% from 3 in Game 3. It's going to have to be one of those games again where they just get really hot from 3-point range and can somehow find a good rhythm because, they're going to kill on the glass. They're probably going to have a lot of offensive rebounding, points, get chalked up on the board. LeBron's going to be better, but it's going to take, some out-of-body experience. It was Marcus Smart in Game 3. Maybe it can be a collective one in Game 4. I don't know. I would just Boston needs to keep running that offense and keep generating open looks and then just hope they go down.
Stay calm. I mean, 28 assists, 9 turnovers once again. Stay calm. That means that you have control of your situation. No matter what the score is, don't worry about that because it's not all zeros up on that clock and it's not the end of the fourth quarter. Stay calm. Stay at it. You know what I'm saying? Believe in your defense. which is hard to do against Cleveland. But believe in your defense. Believe in what got you to this point.
Zaire, you make a great point. I think the main difference between Game 3 and Games 1 and 2 is that the Celtics, by virtue of necessity, started believing in themselves, believing in their defense, and that carried them to a win and gave them a chance. And that's all you can really ask for against this team.
Yeah, they were playing great defense in the first half, and Cavs were just hitting unreal shots. And I think Stevens kind of broke it down for him. It's like, you just got to keep doing exactly what you're doing. They're not going to hit every shot with hands in the face. Like, it's going to change, and it did. Water finds its level.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Be sure to subscribe to the Boston Celtics newsfeed for more Celtics Roundtable coverage. Follow us on Twitter at CLNS Roundtable, and remember, this really helps us out a lot. Give us a 5-star review, the Boston Celtics newsfeed, a 5-star review on iTunes, and we'll be back after Game 4. Hope it's a good one. We'll see you then.